Hi, my name is Coco with blackfilm.com, and I'm here with Kendall Kyndall, Jessie Woo, Jenna Nolen, and Pauline Dyer, and we're here to discuss the All Black series A La Carte. Thank you guys so much for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, guys. I watched the first 3 episodes, and the show is heavily built on sexual exploration, finding love.
Mahogany Rose, well, she is someone who feels she has high moral standards, and she went to HBCU. She's thriving to climb in the corporate world. She works in fashion, and she's trying to be seen by her boss. And at the same time, she's kind of frustrated with her dating life, and her friends help her kind of make decisions. Mm-hmm. She has extreme judgmental friend Shyra, and she has the more liberal friend Misha, and then she has the voice of reason played by Kendall Kyndall's character Rain. And yeah, we'll just see what she ends up doing with her personal life, and we'll see how she climbs through the professional world.
Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to talk to Jessie Woo next, because Misha, as she just said, is very much more open, and it's really just trying to get to a certain place. Let's just put it like that. We're not going to give nothing away. They got to watch it. But she discovers some things about herself along the way. Talk about her and her self-discovery and just how open she is.
Yeah, I mean, Misha, I think out of all the friends in the friend group, she's definitely the one that's more open to experiences that some of them are not open to. And I think that her openness and just her wittiness, she's very funny, she's very witty, she's clumsy, you know, like she makes mistakes, and she just owns it. You know what I mean? Like, I think her character will be relatable to a lot of people that have that other side that they're scared to tap into. Yeah.
And Kendall, you know, this is so funny. This is like my 3rd time interviewing you, like in some capacity, like in like less than like 3 months on different projects. I'm like, does this man ever sleep? Does he know do he even go home? Like, what is going on with this man? I feel like he's always in front of somebody's camera talking about a project. I mean, I really respect that.
Listen, let's keep that in the atmosphere.
Right, exactly. It's always good to be working. That is absolutely correct. But I do want to talk about Rain. He is in this series dependent upon his father. He comes from means, but the reality check comes in, and you realize that privilege does come with conditions. So it's not always fun to be that person that's dependent upon somebody, whether that's a parent or a spouse or anything like that. So let's talk about what that change and that challenge was for his character, for your character rather.
So, well, Rain, he probably never thought that he would get cut off. So now he has to figure out how to make money without saying too much. He'll figure it out. He'll figure it out. But he and his dad is very close. And his dad cut him off for some small amount of money. I'm sure Rain swiped the card for bigger things, okay?
I feel like it was aware. Maybe not so much the amount, it was the where.
Yeah, so Dad wanted to show a lesson. Also, Dad wants Rain to do what he wants to do. And I can relate to that going to college. I remember my dad, I was like, oh, I'm going to go for communications. And he was like, you should probably think about, like, what you going to do with that? I'm like, okay, well, pre-dental. And Rain, he went to school to be a lawyer, so he's in law school. He's getting ready, like 6 months, he'll be finished. But yeah, I'm gonna shut up because I'm got to tell you the damn show.
I know. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
No, I was watching it back to back. I marathon. I saw the first few episodes, well, 3 episodes. So I'm pretty much clear on what's going on. And Jenna. Let's talk about Rodney and Shyra. On the surface, everything just seems so perfect. You guys are the perfect couple. You're the ideal couple. Everybody wants to be like you, and you're the picture of like what love looks like. But even then, when we're first introduced to y'all, Shyra has this particularly unique, her kind of like, no, we're not going there, and it was So I wonder, do you think that? I mean, maybe. Those that sort of challenge or that roadblock may have informed why Rodney wanted to reevaluate certain aspects of the relationship.
Yeah, and that's the conversation that I think is gonna really take A La Carte, especially with Rodney and Shyra, because obviously you've seen the 3 episodes, right? So it's like, let me hold on now. Like, was he? Okay, was
we're not, and again, I'm not saying this and I don't want to put you in a bad place, Jenna. We're not victim blaming. We're just wondering what informs decisions. Like, that's really what I'm asking.
Yeah, right. So I think certain decisions with both parties, right? Like, is it justified? Is it not justified? Right? Because like, she won't do certain things, he won't do certain things, and then both, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a conversation without giving too much away, because I almost caught myself at the premiere doing this. It's gonna be a conversation of like, was he justified? Was she justified in her thing? And I think it's like, I'm trying to like not say anything. I'm gonna leave it this. I think it's gonna be a very interesting conversation.
It will. That's that one. I know that's that one thing that's going to divide people. But I'm just going to say, as an aside, me personally, I do not date personal trainers. I do not trust them. They are not for me. So I was like,
when I read the script, and actually when we saw it in person at the premiere, everyone's reaction was super genuine to it. Everyone was like, you know what? Like, it was a gasp, right? And I was heartbroken, right? I'm just gonna say that. And like watching it, and so I think it's gonna be a very interesting conversation with people, because you're gonna have some men that are gonna be like, I agree with Rodney, and you're gonna have some girls that's like, I agree with Shyra. So it's gonna be that really interesting conversation. That's who's right. They're both right in a sense, right? Like, they're both right in their own feelings and their own opinions and their own values, but are they the perfect couple? Who knows?
Who knows? Who's to determine that? But what I really liked was how all of the friends came together in a healthy way. I think so many people, especially today, are so interested in what's happening online. Here is a friendship, a valuable friendship, where people can actually touch each other, hold each other, communicate, be there for each other, you know, and just really just say, sis, we got you. What are you going through? We're not judging you, and we're here to help you through this phase. So I really like that this show shows a true camaraderie, and everybody's so different, but they're all there. What brings them together is that they're all about the love of each other.
It's so funny because Shyra is the most judgmental person, and when she needs someone to lean on, they're all there without judgment. So I thought that's what I also love about the whole the core four.
So I mean, anybody can talk about this. I was just curious because I thought that the judgment that everyone had, I mean, it was just like you thought Mahogany assassinated somebody. And I thought that was just so interesting, that judgment, when everybody has their own, moments of exploration. And again, I feel like Misha's not as judgmental, just kind of like, well, it's not her, but, but I thought it was interesting that was everybody's hard line in terms of, well, was it weird because it was so weird, or was it weird because it was Mahogany?
I think it's not just that it's just Mahogany. I think like sometimes, like if you gonna make a mistake, do it in a smart way. You know what I mean? Like she missed a couple steps. You know what I'm saying? So it's like your friends, like your real, like in your real life, like your friends will be like, girl, what? Like you really, like you was down there sucking dick and you don't know this man's last name, like you don't, like stuff like that, like. So Rain and Misha, even though like Rain and Misha have their differences too, but that's why they're looking at her like, it's like, you of all people,
right? Like you knew better.
Yes, and the man. Who is this man in this mystery Benz?
Right, like
I mean, this mystery man in this Benz, like what?
Right?
Why would you do that?
You should be able to have friends that can check you, and like without you having to feel like you're being attacked. And I that's why I felt so good about the show, because I have those kinds of friends. That, where you could be like, let's, you're slipping. Like, what are you doing in this particular instance? And everyone should have those friends without people being combative about it. So
exactly.
Yeah, for sure. I do want you all to explain something. I want everybody to answer one of the questions. Okay. Let's talk about the stages of grief. So the first one is, I'm gonna start with Kendall. Let's start with Let's start with denial. What happens in this stage?
For me?
Well, just listen. You ain't got any time. I ain't asking no personal questions unless you want to get personal. I'm just saying, your blanket.
In denial. You want to fight? You pissed? You want to fight? A lot of things happen. Move on, go on. Every time I come on your show, you always want to do this stuff with me.
I know, because you give me some good material.
Denial.
Kendall about to text somebody after this.
Denial. That's when denial is when you just cannot, you refuse to grasp reality. It's a lot of people in Atlanta that are in denial, child. They're not grasping the reality.
That's why they want to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we'll get to anger. And if you want to pick up that baton on that too, Jessie, and just let us know, like, when you go from denial to anger, where does that lead a person?
Oh my gosh. And it takes, like, one thing about me, denial for me will be very brief. And then anger comes in very quickly after that. And you don't want that. You want me to pass the anger.
What is y'all?
In the anger, I'm seeking revenge. And I might not even like act on it. Like I might not even, but in my mind, I'm just like, whoo.
I was wondering, like, what does revenge and anger look like to y'all? Like, are y'all busting windows out of cars, or are y'all just blocking?
Like Jessie said, in my head, yeah. But at the end of the day, I don't want to be on the shade room and neighborhood everywhere else. Kendall busting out windows.
Yeah, like, I came so far. This headline, right? And then
Can't afford that.
No, it's literally you can't afford, because it just looks crazy. So I know they talk about this a lot, but like the idea of reactive abuse, where even though you're the person that's been done wrong, what you do is what people see. So a lot of times, we got to think through our actions. That's something to think about. And then bargaining. What does bargaining look like?
If you hurt me, it's a wrap. I'll be
Cancer. I don't bargain.
Same. I don't beg for nobody. I'm like, if you hurt me, you do that on your own. That's your personal thing. I'm a check.
Yeah, it's a choice. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I agree with that. And then I think this is a healthy expression. I mean, as long as you don't live in it, but depression.
Yeah.
There's a moment where you're sort of mourning a relationship.
Yeah.
And that goes for friends.
Look, not Kendall, clearly.
Right. I mean, maybe for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
After that, I'm calling it. Yeah. Call Jessie and where we going to drink at.
Yeah. Depression could be a strong word.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There are layers to, like, depression. But it's like Kendall said, like, it might be for like a day or two. Like, this really, like, I'm in a low sinking place. But then after that, it's like Kendall said, like, it's Cinco de Mayo. What a drink said.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer of just dealing with the realities of things. And like you guys were saying earlier, like, if something's happening to you and it's not something that you want to happen, and the person's deliberately like hurting you or whatever, or just did something that just like lost your trust, you have to be able to, like, there's nothing, like, no one's lying to you at this point. You've uncovered the lie. Yeah. And that you can't live on a lie, Yeah. So yeah. And then the last one is acceptance, and I think that's where we all seem we have a growth here in this group. You accept the realities. Yeah. What would you guys like for people to take away from this show ultimately?
Okay, I'll start. I want people to take away, I want people to look at it and see themselves, just to relate to it. It's some real shit we're going through. Like, it's some real life shit that we're going through. Everybody, and then we've all said this at countless amounts of times, like, everybody watching at some point in the series, they're going to relate to each character at some point. Even if you're a girl or a guy, right? Like, there's times where I look at it, I'm like, oh, I can relate to Rain. Like, are you kidding me? You know what I mean? And so I think that everybody watching it is going to look at hopefully they look at it with an open lens. And like Kendall said before, they might see themselves in it. Like, oh man, I did that. Like, man, I don't want to, it's kind of uncomfortable for me to watch, but you have to watch it. Like, it's a good show. There's not a show out there right now that focuses on the millennial Black people that are going through real shit.
And I think that it's not only that, as far as being able to relate to any of the characters. I mean, they're very realistic scenarios. Yeah. I didn't think anything was just so crazy or outside the realms of possibility. And so that's why this is one of those shows where it's a great fun, like, group watch, like, everybody get together, guys or girls or whatever. But it's one of those shows where you want to talk about it after each episode. Like, this is what happened. Let's talk about it. What about you guys? What are your take on this, Kendall? I'm always picking on you.
You do.
It's fun.
But no, definitely, basically what Jenna said, especially with Rain, I want people to look at Rain because the character that Rain plays, he's gay. His dad accepts it. Him and his dad is very close. And just, you've probably seen it, but just what's going to happen with Rain, it will change a lot of people's mind on what they think when it comes to the gay community.
But what I really liked about the show, especially with when we're talking with respect to Rain and his sexuality, it's not some, like you said, it's his dad accepts it. It's not some huge deal. It's not like some plot line where we're making it some kind of like strange thing. It's like, okay, this is Rain and he's gay, and it's not. It's basically, it's like the show is not exploiting it, and it did not making it the entirety of his personality. Like you said, he's a law student. He's a son. He's close to his father. You know, there's so many layers to him. So it's really normalizing everything about every one of us in totality without making anybody seem like, you know, they're just their sexuality. And I think that's really important.
Exactly.
I really appreciate it about the show. I had a lot of fun talking to you guys. You all have such big personalities and you guys have so much going on. I'm really happy to see you all working. You know, you guys just your social media and the way that you represent yourselves, you know, you guys are a lot of fun. I laugh a lot. I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed, like I said, speaking to you, and everybody's going to enjoy this show. I mean, you guys did not miss.
Thank you.
And there's some scenes on here, y'all. They got to see the scenes. There's some scenes, honey. But again, my name is Coco with blackfilm.com, and I'm here with Kendall Kyndall, my favorite person to pick on. Jessie Woo, Jenna Nolan, and Pauline Dyer, and we're here to talk about the All Black series, A La Carte. Make sure you tune in. It's a good time, and make sure that you're subscribing to All Black. It's a great channel. There's a lot of different shows on there that you guys need to watch as well. This A La Carte, y'all got to watch it, so you're gonna be missing out on something really good and special. Thanks, guys. It's great talking to you.
Thank you.
Bye. Take care. If you want to see more content like this on blackfilm.com, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell.